Micro bikinis to sports betting here. I'm going to talk about it now. We haven't had a Q&A, question and answer, for a long time. Lots of stuff to talk about. Let's get to it. Stay tuned. And good day to you. I hope that you are having a great day. It's a rainy, funky, yucky day. I think by the time you see this, I'll be somewhere on the road between LA and Vegas. So I'm excited. I hope you'll join me. And before we get underway, if I could ask you to take a second and hit the subscribe button and the bell for all notifications. I'm a hell of an interesting person. I travel a lot. I do a lot of things. Vintage audio repair, baking, metal detecting. Like I always said, my brain is a scrambled egg. I'm interested in everything. So let's get to it today before all my clothes fall off. So I've had people, I'm coming into my 11th year coming up. So some people have been here for a while, said, why did you separate your live streams? Which are generally on the Rosie Murphy channel from the generally recorded content here on the Rosie O'Kelly channel. Just to kind of switch it up and kind of go back to my roots, to just have a concentrated recorded video content on the Rosie O'Kelly channel, which is the flagship channel here. And then we cut up and do stuff on the Rosie Murphy channel, the daily. Maybe we're on Kitchen Stadium. Maybe we're out at a cemetery doing creeping around and on a money hunt or something like that. Somebody plants money in the cemetery for us to find it, or the back alleys of Las Vegas. Most of the time, those streams are going to be on the Rosie Murphy channel, and the link will be in the description box down below, and I hope that you'll join me there. And once in a while, they'll be on here, like if I'm in Vegas and we're going to do a signature parts of Vegas that people don't see or whatever, then that's fun content to share on the live. Plus, I've kind of set it up now so people can have a call in while I am live. So that's come January, I might reverse it all again. I don't know. What cameras did you use on your travel? I'm really loving the GoPro 11. People say, oh, you can't use that for vlogging. Well, if you don't have it in the goofy fisheye mode, where it looks like in a fishbowl and everything is curved at the edges, and you have the nice linear flat mode, it produces a beautiful picture and beautiful imagery for videos. It's great for walking along. It has excellent stabilization, which is important. We don't need any more Blair Witch projects in the world, making people run from the theaters, throwing up as they go out. Nice, stable, smooth footage, beautiful color rendering. But, as you saw, I put it on the other channel, the Rosie Murphy channel, my review of Garibaldi's restaurant in Carson City, Nevada. It is horrendous in low light conditions, okay? It just, a picture just breaks apart. I didn't even think that review was worth putting up on this channel. The review itself, yes. The quality, no. So I use a Canon G7X Mark III for a lot of my indoor and my night cinematic videos. Sonora, Lone Pine, California, places like that. Beautiful. Does so exquisitely well at nighttime because it's got a beautiful low light lens. Sometimes I'll do day vlogs with it, but it's really been a pretty good camera for me. The autofocus is not great, but Canon's color science, and for the price of $649 or whatever, it was in my wheelhouse. Rosie ain't no born to the purple silver spoon in my mouth chick. Okay, let's get it squared away. Your biggest fear on the road. I get asked this a lot, and done videos about transgender travel and 10 years traveling as transgender, and how to protect yourself. You've seen from being robbed and thieves and how to make them look like fools. I have a video up on that. But my biggest overall fear on the road, and this would generally go with anybody that travels a lot, is the fear of a breakdown, particularly in 2022, 2023, because the cost of repairs is so ridiculous now. You're looking at shop rates of $250 an hour to even crossing into the parking lot of a dealership, or the entry is going to set you back $200 for diagnostics and things. And parts, oh my, you're talking about. So I got 104,000 some miles. Of course, I worry. That's my biggest fear on the road, is all of a sudden, check engine dies right there. Thank you. 2,890 miles from home. Now we got a real drama story. Yeah, Rosie, we hope it happens. All right. What's the next stereo project? Well, there's my wall of sound, which many of you know, and I'm one of the few people left in America that does restoration on not only solid state transistor driven units, but tube units, vacuum tube units. And I do try to do 2 or 3 restorations a year. So next I'm looking up on it is the Model 4430. It's a Marantz quad-rail receiver. And that's the quadraphonic 4-channel unit. It's going to be a beast to restore. And it harkened back to the era, and Marantz is a really good name. It harkened back to the era when quadraphonic was hot for about 2 minutes, but then the record companies were like, no, we're not going to record 4 channels. We'll record 2 stereo, but no, nowadays they want to give you mono. So we're going to be doing that. Let's see, romance. A lot of people are wondering, are you going to have love and romance in your future? Well, you never know. When the new princess slash queen slash empress slash dictator of the rancho comes on the scene, I just don't know. But it's always something to look forward to. But going solo, you know, the old saying, he who travels alone, she who travels alone, travels lightest and travels fastest. And in a way, it's true, and I can kind of bring the content that I want to see. And I love to travel. I love traveling with Missy Jen, but I can bring the content and do the things that I want to do when I want to do them. So there's a certain freedom. You know, Rosie, the old war horse from Baltimore, she's had a few around the track, right? So let's not mourn too much for that. So hopefully. When will you get your concealed carry weapons permit, and will you please do a video on the process that you went through? Many of you know I'm applying for, in process for a concealed carry permit for the state of California, which in some counties it's easy to get. And in this county that I'm in, Sonoma County, one of the bluest of the blue, it is excruciatingly difficult to get. I will be going into the process. I think the Supreme Court is kind of changing things a little bit, but I have two things I still have to do. Take a 5-hour classroom course on the 13th of December, and then on the 14th December I have 5 hours on range time, and that should complete all my process. Like I said, I will have a separate video. And I'm not going to, people ask me, are you going to carry, are you going to carry? I don't think it makes any sense to state that. I'm not a gung-ho person. You don't see me on here. If I do 2 firearm videos a year, it's a lot on the channel. When you go out shooting, I do some videos, right? Let's see, would you consider doing some type of podcast? I have a lot of stuff I talk about, economics, China. I've been on the forefront of the China meltdown, the forefront of a lot of things, rising interest rates, potential recessions and things. But I only like to do a video when it's apropos and the time is right, when there's really something to talk about. I think a lot of times when subject matter is missing, which is most days, we don't have terrific turning points or events. You're stretching yourself to talk about something just because you're bound to have a podcast. So If I want to open my flapper and talk about what's going on, well, I will certainly do it. You know, alerting people to I-bonds a year ago before people even thought about how great they were. Let's see. I can't get enough of you in the micro bikinis. But why are there so few now? Well, YouTube has changed their terms and conditions slowly. It's like an anaconda. A lot of ways, taking out a lot of the joy and a lot of the freedom of expression from YouTube. But I am able to do baking on the Rosie McNamara channel, which is my third channel, which is fun. Granted, it's not bikini, but it's sexy, it's fun. And I'm exploring other options with, you know, I have a significant presence on TikTok, and I do have a Twitch account. So I think I'll probably do it up with the micro bikinis, doing Friday night bikini baking on Twitch or something like that. So if you don't have Twitch, download it. It's an app similar to YouTube. Here's one I got. Why did you stop football betting in the season? You were right a lot. You were wrong, but you're right. Yeah, we ended the season 65-50, which I would put that record in college football against anybody. The so-called pros, 56.5% rate of picking winners. Very difficult to do. We stopped doing it because we came to the last 2 weeks of the season, and quite frankly, number one, I was traveling, and number two, I did not like the matchups that were going on. And I knew that people were going to get their heads handed to them the last 2 weeks of the season because things that they thought might happen weren't going to happen. Wins that they thought teams were going to get, they didn't get. Teams got blown out. Michigan blew out Ohio State. Who saw that coming? So, I mean, these are the things that saves me money and absolutely annihilated bettors in on the lines in Vegas and things like that. So I knew that drama was coming, and I did not need the trauma. Will you take your metal detector on the road? You know, I should slow the hell down on the road. 1,300 miles. I probably cranked out 20 videos on that trip. Because there's so much to talk about when you do travels and adventures, and so much cool history. The what ifs. What if U.S. Grant had decided to stay in Knight's Ferry? Would the Union have won the Civil War? What if Abraham Lincoln had gone with the Donner Party and been trapped in the snow and died in 1846? Would the United States be a United States without his presidency? I mean, all these kind of things really fascinate me. But metal detecting is important too. And I think I have to tell myself to slow down. But remember, there's only so many dollars in my pocket. And I appreciate the support that I do get. But I don't have memberships. I don't have Patreons. I think they blunt the creativity of the YouTube process. But support is always appreciated. If you see a video you like, you can hit the little heart with the $sign. I have a Cash App, which is $, lowercase Rosie O'Kelly, and of course PayPal.me/Rosie O'Kelly. But it's not the driving force. But I feel like I have to cover a lot of ground because I have to stay in a hotel and do things, and I'm staying in the cheapest place that I can find, right? Within the confines of safety. I stayed in one hotel, the room was rattling because the train was coming 1.5 feet from the sidewalk. Yeah, don't give a shit about that. Okay. I'm going to close this out. Your support is appreciated, but mainly your subscription and your watching. You're not going to be disappointed on this channel. People tend to come. They tend to stay for not weeks, not months, but they stay for years because upbeat, fun, laughs, and everything else here on the channel. So I hope that you'll take a minute, hit that subscribe button down below and that bell for all notifications so you don't miss one doggone thing. On that note, I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day. See you down the road.